From his computer in Roanoke, neo-Nazi Bill White spewed racist rants across cyberspace on his website, overthrow.com. He posted personal information about dozens of people, ranging from a Miami newspaper columnist to an ordinary bank employee. Last year, White drew the attention of federal authorities when he posted the address and phone numbers of a man who was the foreman of a jury that convicted white supremacist Matthew Hale. While Hale was awaiting sentencing for his conviction of plotting to murder federal judge Joan Lefkow, her husband and mother were murdered in her Chicago home. The killer was not connected to Hale, but was upset that he had lost a case in Lefkow's court. In October, White, a Roanoke landlord, was arrested in Roanoke and charged with encouraging his readers to harm the juror. In December, a Roanoke federal grand jury also charged him with threatening several other people. White's case has revived memories of the murders of Lefkow's husband and mother, a crime that prompted major changes in how federal judges and their families are protected. Last week, Lefkow attended a dedication ceremony for the U.S. Marshals Service's new Threat Management Center in Washington that is designed to provide better monitoring of threats against judges. Lefkow's colleague in Chicago, Judge Charles Kokoris, said she has been the driving force behind the changes.
We have all been sensitized to the dangers that lurk to those who judge and decide the cases of litigants. But it has fallen to Joan to be our eloquent spokesperson. She has been unmatched in her devotion to the cause of greater security for judges.
Rod Smala, dean of the Washington and Lee Law School, said jurors are different than judges because they are ordinary people fulfilling their civic duty.
And I do think it would be very, very worrisome if people began to think that as part of the price of agreeing to be on a jury in a case involving a radical group or a hate speech prosecution, others who were part of that movement might come after you. That would be a real tragedy for our judicial system, I think.
Several Roanoke residents and members of the NAACP also claimed they were on the receiving end of White's harassment.
He said I was a prostitute and a drug dealer and all kinds of things like that.
Walker helped Angie Lehman, one of White's former tenants, file a fair housing complaint after she said he threatened to evict her. She said that when she first met White, everything was fine. But when he saw her son, who is biracial, everything changed.
My son come in the house and told me what had happened as far as what he was saying to him calling him the N-word and so forth.
Lehman said White posted personal information and insults about her and her children on his website. Smala said that even the most indirect threat, when combined with personal information, could be interpreted as a serious threat.
And then they provide location information or identifying information. It's very, very hard for them to come up with a plausible explanation for why that was needed. You know, why was the license plate number critical to your political message? Why was the address critical to your political message?
White was denied bail and remains in custody in a federal jail in Chicago.